work for you, I found out.
Hey, there's Patty. She's working in the gift store, and I'm also joined by a complete goof named, what's your name? Tell him, Nick.
Nicholas Jorge Palmer.
Nicholas Jorge Palmer. Why is your middle name Jorge?
Because that's the Spanish way of saying George.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, so we're here in the Darkness retail store, and there's a reason why we're here. Tell them why we're here. Over here, you.
So, this was now a week and a half ago.
Yes.
We originally made a video, and then
The camera went out.
Larry was wanting to figure out his air compressors and couldn't leave without those air compressors getting moved. So we cut the video short. But there was a post on Haunter's Hangout where a guy said, "Are there any haunted houses that do Krampus during the haunt season other than Creepy World?" And I don't remember what the other one was. But anyway, I commented on there and I was like, hey, actually, Krampus isn't there anymore. It's got replaced with the new Monster Mansion. You know, hyping it up, being like the all-new, exciting Monster Mansion, you know, because it is exciting.
Okay.
So then...
Are we going to get to the end of the story?
Okay, I'm trying to give you some plot here. So then
He's trying to build the drama.
So then a guy...
Patty, he's trying to build the drama. Is he doing a good job?
I just gotta make sure
I don't think
the situation is understood.
Okay.
And that there's no
Cut to the
no
chase.
foul
Cut to the
play.
chase.
No foul
Cut to
play.
the chase.
So then a guy commented on there.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was. The post actually got deleted, so it's not even there anymore. But the guy was like, "Oh, this Monster Mansion idea sounds corny, all this stuff." And he was like, "Creepy World just keeps cutting the haunted houses down to make room for more escape rooms and gift shops and cash grab kind of stuff," which is untrue. But you know, I don't like drama, so I didn't go on there and be like, "Oh, the Monster Mansion was actually extended more than Krampus was," because you have the whole coffin maze now. We got the selfie museum, all that new stuff. And they were basically just like, "Oh, the owner of this haunted house, they were throwing shade at you.
Okay.
Only cares about...
Look at it. She's smiling over there.
Only cares about the money.
Yeah.
And does not care about the haunt industry or building a good haunted house." Which, to me, was kind of like, you know, what the heck? Because I worked on all the animations and I did all the lighting. You know, worked hard on that maze. And I think it's a cool haunted house, okay? That's just me.
Okay, so you're saying this was deleted off of...
It's gone.
Okay. Well, let's make a video about this, because actually we want to talk about what does it cost to run a haunted house. Okay, that's what we want to talk about. And he also made comments about we're taking space away from the haunted houses at Creepy World, right?
Yeah.
At Creepy World, which he's incorrect. We took space away from TerraVisions at the Darkness to make way for a retail store. So, but we're going to talk about today, what does it cost to run a haunted house? And this video is not going to be super long, but we hope that this helps you. And Patty, one of the costs of running your haunted house now is paying for ticketing. And some people are paying a fortune.
And I will say, there's a lot of haunts not opening this year. You know, so haunt owners out there, think about the bottom dollar, or you're not going to be open next year or the year after.
So there's a lot of haunts not opening this year?
Think about the bottom dollar.
You've talked to a lot of haunts that aren't opening?
Yeah, they're closed indefinitely.
Closed indefinitely. Interesting.
Tough times.
It is. Now, I want to show you something. We're going to talk about how much it costs to run a haunted house. But you see this piece of carpet right here. I'm going to put my foot. Okay. That's how big the retail store was. Okay. There you go. Okay. So, from here to this wall, this all used to be part of TerraVisions. Now, how much space got cut out of TerraVisions? 300 square feet? 350 square feet? Like, what are you talking about? Okay? Like, what are you talking about? And this is my problem with Haunter's Hangout And I don't have a problem with Haunters Hangout. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic that people get to talk about Halloween year around. Speaking of which, we hate Halloween. But I bought these books right here. Vintage Halloween Trick or Treat Tradition and Vintage Halloween Party Book. I saw this and I just like thought, I just fell in love with the book. It was so great because I hate Halloween. That's why I like the books. That's why I bought them. I mean, are you getting the drift here? But anyway, let me explain a couple things. First off, this retail store, and let's not look at me, let's look at the retail store. And we have some new stuff coming too, by the way. And Patty just set this up. And you know, it's not set up. It looks like Terrifier is the new big thing. We got a bunch of new masks coming. We got a bunch of new t-shirts. When's all our new t-shirts coming, Patty? And by the way, because all we do is care about money, because that is absolutely true, we just got another cooler because we got a liquor license. So now we got 2 coolers and we care about money, so we've got to sell more. So we took out something to put in another cooler. That just shows the cash grab here. Okay, am I wrong here? It's a serious cash grab.
Completely
cash grabbing. Yes.
Of...
Now, we have more t-shirts coming in. But look at all this stuff in here. And those are big sellers, by the way. Okay. But my guesstimation is there's over $200,000 worth of stuff in here. Okay. When you say cash grab, okay, it costs a lot of money to stock this retail store. Okay. Like a ton. So you have to make money. But let me explain one thing about the retail store. In my opinion, it's like an attraction. It's like adding another attraction because people like coming in here. Am I wrong, Patty? They like coming in here and they like seeing new stuff, right? They like looking at all this cool stuff, whether they buy it or not. You know what was really interesting? I watched some videos online because Spirit Halloween just opened and they had people camping out literally 5 days in advance to be the first person in the door. We're talking about the one in New Jersey, the home base one, the big one. And that's how popular Halloween has become, especially Halloween props and retail and so on and so forth. Look at my Instagram page. I've been posting videos of Halloween props and Halloween animations, and we've gotten 10, 12 million views in some of these videos because there's just that many people who like that content. So I would say to you that this person on Haunters Hangout has no clue. Absolutely. And let me just tell you this. Anybody, and I say anybody, and you're my witness, I said this, that would take advice from anyone on a group like that about how to run a successful business of any kind. I don't care if it's a dog grooming business. You are going to fail because that group and all the groups like it are 95% people who do not own or operate a business. It takes a different kind of savage. It takes a different kind of commitment to put everything you have, your whole entire life, into a business and try to make it successful. Most haunts do not make money and they struggle for years on end. And we're going to go over the kind of bills that you have. Now, let me just say this for the starters. I'm a little sweaty in here because it's very hot in here. Is it not hot in here?
It's humbling.
Yeah, what would you say the temperature is in here? It's hotter in here than it is outside. Am I right?
Nice outside.
Yeah, it's very nice. In St. Louis today,
it's like 69 outside.
it's like 60 something degrees, like fall weather.
Yeah.
And inside here, it's baking hot. Why is that? This building is made of steel and concrete. So when we talk about the cost of operating a successful business, this particular space where TerraVisions is at needs all new air conditioning. Otherwise, the actors will pass out cold. Okay, do you know what that is going to run me? Around $50,000. Okay, that is an unforeseen cost. It's a part of doing business. And by the way, the escape room had the same exact problem, and about $50,000 was spent over there. The building, not this particular building, but the other half of Darkness, had the exact same problem with the roof. And the roof cost about $60,000 to repair on this building and about $60,000 to repair on the other building. So for the person who makes all these claims that all we do is care about money, I mean, you literally do not know what you're talking about, because it costs a lot of money to operate a business. Do you know one of the biggest costs right now is insurance? It's going through the roof, okay? Our insurance costs have literally doubled, tripled over the last couple of years. I mean, literally tripled. Now, let me show you another thing. We're talking about the cost of doing business. So we have added so many animatronics, you know, because we really hate Halloween, we hate haunted houses, we don't care. So this was one of our compressors, as was that one. And we had two other ones that were belt drives. So we just bought this and this. This one does not work yet because it needs to have electric run to it. So between this and this, you're talking about $30,000 plus another $3,500, $4,000 to hook up the electric. Okay, that was a necessity for the darkness to operate correctly at those peak times to keep those animations going, because animations actually serve just like, you know, it's a scare, it's just like an actor as well. It's a special effect. It helps the haunted house get great reviews, and we have a lot of them here. So that was just a cost. Okay, now what are the other costs of operating a haunted house? You have insurance. Now there's a lot of different kinds of insurance. There's workers' comp insurance. Now that is very expensive. You also have to, and by the way, I'm gonna pay about $35,000, $40,000 for workers' comp. You're also gonna have insurance for the liability, okay? Another expense you have to run a successful haunted house is you're either going to have rent or you're going to buy a building and you're going to pay a mortgage. And even if you already own your building, as I do, then you would have to pay property tax. So my property tax on this particular building is $50,000 a year. Now I also pay rent on Lemp and Creepy World. So if you have a really good location, depending on where it is, you could pay $50,000, you could pay $250,000, just depends on the location. Labor is a huge cost. It is so massive as a cost, depending on the kind of haunt you're running. Now the darkness has, I mean, we've got it down to about 40 actors, but all together, it probably needs about 65 people to operate it. That cost will definitely head over $100,000. For Creepy World and Haunt like Creepy World, when you need like 150-ish, 160 people to operate it, the cost of that could literally be 150 to upwards of $500,000, depending on the haunt and the type and the amount of labor that they have. So labor is a very expensive aspect of running a haunted house. Another expensive aspect to run your haunted house is security. You have to have security. You prefer to have police officers. You know, at the darkness, between darkness and Lemp last year, or I should say between all three haunted houses, we probably paid $100,000. Okay, that's real money. We also renovated our haunt, and that's a big part of the cost of operating your attraction as well. On the darkness alone, we spent over $200,000 renovating it. And to get Creepy World ready, we literally start in the spring and we work on it all the way until it opens. So a big cost is labor, but we bought a lot of props. We had to make a lot of repairs, had to buy a lot of materials. I would say altogether to get Creepy World open is somewhere around $225,000 to $250,000. Okay, another big cost is advertising. So in the past, I've spent over $300,000 in marketing between all three haunts. I would say most successful haunts are spending between $80,000 and $150,000. This is real money. Another expense is tax, okay? And this is why we can't have crazy, progressive, wacky Democrats like AOC running anything who calls for 70% tax on businesses. Basically, you're basically going complete socialism. The only person that would employ anybody is the government, because nobody would run a business, because you can't pay 70% tax. Basically, you would not have any money to operate your business. I mean, this is a completely insane. So Donald Trump, when he was president, lowered federal tax. I think it's 24%. It used to be 36. Okay, now it's 24. It's still a lot. Because here in the city of St. Louis, I pay a really high tax because I'm in the city. They also have an amusement tax. So you're talking about 16% is going to tax, retail tax. And then on top of that, you pay a federal tax on any profit you make. So let's say you made $1 million, okay? So $250,000 of it is gone, just like that. Now you're down to $750,000. Okay, you also have all kinds of things that come up and you don't even know. I mean, like I probably spend $30,000 to $40,000 a year in electrical work. Okay, I've already expressed to you, new air compressor, new air conditioner, new this, new that. Like Creepy World, there was a flood, we had to spend tons of money re-graveling, okay? You have to buy a new tractor. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Oh, you need new props, you need new costumes, you need new makeup. In the old days, okay, I used to run my American Express card up to probably $200,000 just prior to opening, and I used to also I had a line of credit with my bank. I would literally get down to like the last 7 to 8 days, and then before I would actually be broken even. I can tell you that for my 3 haunts, I probably have to get in the neighborhood of $1.6 million to break even. Okay, so when people on Haunters Hangout, and I'm not dogging Haunters Hangout, I think it's great, I think it's fantastic, but you can't talk about issues about money on there, because you will be accused of like, you only care about money, you only care about this. Look, prices of haunted houses have peaked, okay? I don't know that they can go any further, okay? Because people don't need to go to a haunted house. They just don't need it. So the higher you take the price, probably you're alienating a lot of people. So at the end of the day, you try to find ancillary ways to make up the difference, whether it's charged for parking, whether it's having a 5-minute escape room, which by the way, they make virtually nothing, or having a retail store, or something like that. To criticize these things is just a person saying it who does not understand running or operating a business of any kind. Every business is looking for different ways to raise revenue because they have to. Because labor costs are going up, fuel costs have gone up, energy costs, everything. And by the way, I didn't even talk about utilities that you would pay for the whole entire year. So this is what it costs to run a successful haunted house. And it varies depending on how big or small the haunted house is. So if the haunted house is smaller, obviously it's less. But here's one more thing that nobody even factors in when you're trying to open your own business. I mean, forget trying to start it from scratch, because then you're talking about a whole nother ball of wax. I would say that the cost of opening a haunted house from scratch, if you're going to try to get in it and compete, you probably would need to be in the range of, like, I would say that I probably could do a really good job with like $1.5 million. That's probably what it would take, because you also have other things you would have to do, like complete electrical. You would also have to do things like put in a security system. You might have to repair a sprinkler system. You might have to put in panic hardware doors. You working hard there, Adam? Okay. And so all these things add up. So at the end of the day, there's one more big cost if you're going to operate your own business, and that is to pay your own bills. So if somebody dedicates their whole entire year, their whole entire life to, I'm going to build a haunted house and operate it, okay, then you are going to have to pay your own bills, your car payment, your house payment, you know, things for kids if you have them. All of these things are part of costs, okay? You have to be able to pay your bills. You have to be able to take care of your family, and that is a part of running your own business. You have to be able to take care of your family and yourself. So you got to factor that in. That's probably 10% of what you make has to go. There has to be something. And you know, at the end of the day, you know what most haunts are in? They're in like a tornado that spins around in circles. and they make enough, and then what they make after they pay taxes just gets little by little by little drained until they open and they do it again. And no haunted house, well, I shouldn't say none, there's a handful that are doing really well. I would say most haunted houses are not doing, you know, they're not literally setting the world on fire. I would say most haunted houses have volunteer labor to work there, because if they had to pay them, they wouldn't even be there. The haunted house business is a passion, and I have a passion for it. That's why we have so many props. That's why we have the scenery we have. And as far as Creepy World is concerned, we never took out a haunted house to make way for a retail store. This is ridiculous. We replaced a haunt that has been there for many, many years. It was looking old, and we replaced it from scratch. And the cost of replacing it from scratch is going to be over $100,000. So that's investing in your attraction. That is giving your customer something new to look forward to, and that's what we've done. And the guy who is criticizing the Monster Mansion, he has not seen it completed. He has not seen the facade. He has not seen anything, because we're going to make a video about that, and you're going to be blown away when you see the final product. And we're just waiting for the facade. But anyway, so make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to help people learn more about what it takes to own and operate a haunted house. And so there you have it. And by the way, you see this space I'm standing in right here? This is the space that we're talking about making part of the darkness. This will cost over when it's all said and done, it might cost $1 million. And by the way, there are so many other things that we didn't even go into. Like, look at all this stuff just sitting on shelves. You know, CNC machines, tools. I mean, you name it, you're replacing tools, you're replacing stuff all the time. And look at these amazing masks. There's so many of them, okay? And this is what it takes to operate a successful haunt. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, he's dogging on a Haunter's Hangout or Haunter's Toolbox or Halloween Haunt Facebook group. I'm not. I think these groups are fantastic, but you cannot take advice from people who do not own or operate a haunted attraction, because they do not just a haunted attraction, but any business. Any business is a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice to yourself, your family, your friends. Some people just get caught up in it to where it's like especially the restaurant business, where they're working 80 hours a week to make it work. That's the sacrifices that a business owner makes, and sometimes they hit, and they hit big. Good for them. They worked for it. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Be proud of the fact that you're successful, and always strive to be more successful. And don't apologize for it. And these quacks that talk this nonsense on, who cares what they think? They can talk all they want, because you don't see them doing it. But when they do it, then I'll take them serious. But until then, I could care less what they say. So thanks a lot for watching the video, and we hope you like and subscribe to our channel. We're so excited that we got to 13,000 followers. Let's get to 20. So we're gonna go see some more haunts. Coming up in August, we're gonna go see some more haunts, and we're gonna be uploading that content right here to Hauntworld. And we got to finish our videos of Creepy World. It's all coming, so make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll talk more down the road about opening our haunts for Trans World and what we're gonna do there. And it's all gonna be fun. So until then, the guy who thinks that we don't spend any money on our haunts, please come and pay for this this air compressor. Because do you really think that I wanted to buy a $30,000 air compressor and a $5,000, $6,000 air dryer? Of course I didn't want to pay for it unless I had to, and I did. So with that being said, we'll see you next time.